Tonight, Cuomo passes a new bill in an attempt to save the Fitzpatrick power plant.
And a shooting in New Orleans leaves 17 injured. All that plus your weather and sports updates coming up on WTOP-10 News at 10.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP-10 News at 10. I'm Justin Penman.
And I'm Annie Flaherty.
More on those stories in a minute, but first, Syracuse's head football coach has been let go.
DJ Manu is in the newsroom with more.
Thanks, guys. Syracuse football will see a new face on the sidelines next year, as head coach Scott Schaefer has been fired, according to athletic director Mark Hoyle. Schaefer, who has a record of 13-23 in his 3 seasons with Syracuse, will coach the final game this weekend at Boston College. A national search for a new head coach is already underway, but Ed Ogeron has already emerged as a front-runner. Ogeron, who is serving as a defensive line coach at Louisiana State, has already expressed his interest in the position. That's all I got here in the newsroom. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, DJ. The former Unity house worker who is charged with sexual abuse is now being sentenced. 63-year-old William Sistrunk has agreed upon a deal with the court where he pleads guilty to a misdemeanor and second-degree harassment. But the court is able to forward all of the details to the probation officer. Sistrunk was arrested back in February for charges of sexually abusing a woman receiving services at the community residence in Auburn.
A man who faced murder charges back in June was arraigned this morning. Mark Sternistek pleaded not guilty during the arraignment of the death of 16-year-old Shannon Ingram and the stabbing of her mother, Kimberly Kayanka. The night before Ingram's death, she told a friend that she planned to get an order of protection against Sternistek. The trial is scheduled for next May, and he faces 25 years to life in prison.
There's some good news coming out of Williamstown this evening. The people involved in the Altmar Parish Williamstown bus accident this morning did not have any life-threatening injuries. Luckily, there were no students aboard the bus at the time of the accident. However, the driver and attendant of the bus were transported to the Upstate Medical Center in Syracuse. Now, on a more positive note, the weather outside has been pretty good to look at lately. The snow on the ground is making everything look nice, you know?
I was very shocked to see a couple inches, though, this morning when I woke up.
Definitely.
Before we continue, let's get a quick look at your current conditions with meteorologist Alex Zook.
Thanks, guys. Yes, we did have a lake effect snow advisory in place because we had snow this morning. That has now been canceled, but take a look. We do have snow over western Lake Ontario and over areas like Pulaski and Watertown. However, right now we are dry. If anything, just a couple of flurries, but we are dry. Let's take a look at our current temperatures. All throughout the board, here in Syracuse, we're at 30 degrees, Phoenix 30 degrees as well, and 30 in Fulton, 32 in Oswego. Now I want to plan the day out for you. Tomorrow when you wake up, there is a chance of showers tomorrow, snow showers rather. 33 degrees as you wake up, warming up to 40 degrees around midday, and 42 degrees around 3 p.m. I'll have more after the break, but first I'm going to toss it back to the desk.
Thanks, Alec. Cuomo's new energy plan will now count nuclear energy as a source of renewable energy. Aides say the use of upstate nuclear power should cut carbon emissions by 40%. This move provides a boost for nuclear plants all across upstate New York for the next 15 years. However, it now seems even more unlikely that Cuomo will be able to convince Fitzpatrick to stay in the region.
SUNY Oswego has made the American Cancer Society's Tobacco-Free U Dean's List. The colleges who have made the list are among the most inclusive and complete policies to protect both students and staff from the dangers of tobacco. 30% of colleges across the New York State are receiving praise from the American Cancer Society for their smoke-free or tobacco-free rules. To see the other colleges besides Oswego State that have made the Dean's List, you can visit cancer.org.
What would you do if you could make someone's wish come true?
Our reporter Caitlin Gennari has more on SUNY Oswego students who did just that.
The co-ed fraternity Alpha Phi Omega hosted its first annual slime run this past weekend to help raise money for the not-for-profit foundation Make-A-Wish.
Organization that raises money for just such an amazing cause. I mean, I feel like there's not really a more noble cause for raising money than to make the wishes of kids with life-threatening disease come true.
Preparations for the race began early Saturday morning, which consisted of setting up the registration table, chalking the sidewalk, and making the slime.
It's been a really exciting time, and we've raised a lot of money. We've raised a lot of excitement for this event.
All the money raised at the race went to Make-A-Wish Foundation to help with the cost of granting wishes of children who suffer from life-threatening illnesses.
Granting those wishes, and so the money that we raise, the money that is raised for us from events like these, just go to support the wishes. At the average cost of a wish at $12,000 per wish. Wow. That money is critical.
The slime run began at 12 p.m. with around 100 students in attendance. About 20 minutes later, the first runner crossed the finish line.
It's one thing to just go out and run, but it's another thing entirely to help an organization. I'm really glad you guys could put this on today.
The slime run was a great success for its first time being held, with over $2,000 being raised for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The event came to a close with some students who braved the cold weather to get slimed. All those who came out and supported Make-A-Wish had a great time, and Alpha Phi Omega is looking forward to putting this event on again next year. Caitlin Gennari reporting for WTOP-10 News.
If you are interested in helping the Make-A-Wish Foundation, visit their website at wish.org for more information. Throughout Oswego County, there will be multiple locations offering free Thanksgiving dinners this Thursday. Any member of the public who needs a place to go or who is in need of a meal this holiday is welcomed. The Oswego County Salvation Army, the Oswego Alliance Church, and La Paria are a few of the locations offering meals.
The Syracuse Zoo will be welcoming a new member into its doors. That member is the 13-year-old lion from the Bronx Zoo named Mwazi. Since Mwazi is starting to get old, they want him to be able to be as happy as possible in his golden years. And they're sending him to Syracuse Zoo to do that because that zoo is home to a lioness around the same age as him named Kiera. Coming up later, the State Department issues a worldwide travel alert.
And police seek witnesses after a shooting in New Orleans. But first, let's take a quick preview at the weather with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Alex Zook.
We do have